and download is like, and welcome to Fair and Unbiased for episode 2 of Shadowhunters season 3, The Powers That Be. There wasn't a Fair and Unbiased last week. I know, I'm sorry. I suddenly had a social life and it was, it shocked me too, trust me. I suddenly had a social life and I didn't have time to record the Fair and Unbiased for the first episode, but I swear I'll let you know if that ever happens again. I do update my Twitter, but no one follows me there anyway, and that's fine. I don't want you there if you don't want to be there, so a quick sort of synopsis of what I should have talked about last week. Lilith is trying to raise Sebastian. Simon has the Mark of Cain. Clary's weapons are not her parents' sword things. I can't remember what they're called, dual pendles or something. They're her runes, and I think that's it. I think I've covered it. I don't know if I've missed anything. That's kind of like the general idea. So for Fair and Unbiased this week, we're going to talk about the kind of grander scheme of things. So what we've seen so far in this episode is that Lilith is laying ley lines. She's laying the lays. She's laying ley lines down, and she mentioned in episode 1 that she needs 33 people. So she needs 33 people, I assume, to fill her altar thing with blood. And she'll let the ley lines go and they will do something for Sebastian. They'll probably raise him from the dead. Because I remember in episode 1 she was just like, the ley lines don't lie here, but the energy is plentiful, or something like that. So the ley lines must be something to do with resurrecting Sebastian from the dead. But isn't that what we all want? So the problem in this episode is that it seems that anytime demonic ley lines cross the path of a warlock, it makes them go skitsy, like a socket suddenly shorten out, like they can't control what they do or how they do it. They can't hide their warlock mark. Their powers go nuts. Katarina almost killed people in the hospital. Magnus could have vaporized the institute, that kind of thing. So because of this happening, they had to do something to stop the ley lines sort of doing their shit. And that enter Magnus and Alec, battle boyfriends, where they had the plan to flood the ley lines with angelic power. And when they went into Lorenzo's mansion, they were just like, Magnus was just like, oh thank god, this isn't Asmodeus. Oh wait, shit, no, that means that it is someone a lot more powerful. Fuck. And other things that we saw in this episode was that Simon got the Mark of Cain. I don't know if I should have said Mark of Cain, but we know what the Mark of Cain does now, so it's called the Mark of Cain. Hardly a big deal, because I think the bigger spoiler would have been what the Mark does. So we know what the Mark does. So the name of it is the Mark of Cain, and as you can see on his forehead, it's like a backwards C. So C for Cain. So the basic principle of the Mark of Cain in the Shadowhunters verse, the Mortal Instruments verse, is that anyone who tries to attack Simon will die. They're dead. You try and throw a punch at Simon, you're dead. That's pretty much it. And that's what the Seelie Queen meant by though you walk in the sunlight, darkness will follow. I'm still not a fan of that little actress, but I preferred Sarah Hyland, but that's just my personal preference. I'm not going to throw my toys out of the pram because of it. But that's basically what she meant when she said, though you walk in the sunlight, darkness will follow. Basically, anyone who tries to attack him is fucking dead. Anyone who tries to even so much as slap him is fucking dead. So that is the point of the Mark of Cain. I am not sure why the Seelie Queen was the one to give him it. I'm not entirely sure how he got it in the books, and honestly I don't care that much. I can't remember, and I don't intend to reread them. But I'm not sure why the Seelie Queen gave him it in this context, but I'm going to go ahead and assume that because she's a Seelie, and because Seelies are assholes, she's probably just doing it to see what happens, because that's what Seelies fucking do. They go like, oh, I just wanted to see what happened, I want to see how it goes, I've never encountered a daylighter before, so... So that's what I think that the motivation is. And someone also pointed out last week, I was supposed to discuss this in Fair and Unbiased as well, that they think that Raphael is trying to figure out a way to create a daylighter, and that's why he's using the UV light, and that's why he's tranquilizing the vampire he's experimenting on, etc, etc. I really hope that's not the case, because that turns Raphael into kind of a fucked up villain, and I don't want that. I liked Raphael as a good guy. I liked him being good. I don't like Cassandra Clare's version. Don't make him an evil scientist that experiments on innocent people. That's just fucked up. That's horrible. I don't want that. Another important thing that we found out in this episode was that Asmodeus is Magnus's father. Asmodeus is a prince of hell, and as I've discussed before, and I don't know if it was fair and unbiased at first thoughts, but I discussed before in one of these episodes for season 2, that to create a warlock baby, a demon has to rape a human. Most commonly, a demon male rapes a human female, and she gets impregnated with a demon, and the demon leaves her, and she goes on. The women go off and have their own life. Some of them keep their babies, some of them ditch their babies, and some of them abuse their babies. And I don't entirely think that Magnus's mother abused him, but his stepfather certainly did. Because his stepfather seen him as, well, he was, like, there was demon in him. And as much as we like to villainize Magnus's father, and I still think he's a fucked up guy, we need to put ourselves into our own shoes, and what would we do if we saw a demon child? I don't think many of us would react as eloquently, but as we like to think we would. But I'm not excusing Magnus's father's behaviour. I'm just sort of saying that it seems it's natural human nature to kind of react that way when you see something like a demon. But I don't agree with him trying to drown Magnus. Nuh-uh. No. Nuh-uh, honey. Don't do that. So this was another big reveal for the series. This was another one of the big, you know, kind of reveals of the entire series, is that Magnus's father is a prince of hell, and he lives in hell, and he's a prince of hell. So, as Matthew Daddario pointed out on his Twitter, Alec could marry into royalty. It could be sweet. Next royal wedding. Prince Magnus and Prince Alec of hell. And I don't care that this is fair and unbiased. I forgot to point this out in first thoughts. That scene with the shampoo was fucking adorable. I fucking love domestic Malec, alright? Just give me more. It feeds my empty soul. Another thing that I think is going to be an overarching plot for the series is Isabel and the doctor from the previous episode. The reason I'm bringing this up is because I miss fair and unbiased. This is important overarching storyline, blah 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 blah. There's been a lot of rumours that there is going to be someone dating a mundane in this this series. Most specifically Isabel, people think, because she is the only one of our main group that is not in a relationship. So I think that's going to be the doctor from episode 1, and that introduces a lot of interesting ideas on how she's going to hide her identity, what's going to happen if he finds out her identity, and so on and so forth. So, there was a lot of hints of it in this episode as well, when Luke was talking to Isabel about how she needs to find her Jocelyn, and she won't find her Jocelyn if she's stuck inside all the time. So I do think that we're going to get a bit of that, and hopefully an introduction to Sizzy soon. But considering the fact that Simon is with Maya right now, I would like to keep it that way for a bit longer, because I would like to think that they're not going to make the whole Isabella and Maya storyline go ahead the way it did in the books, because that would just be fucking disgusting. So basically I think we're setting up for Isabel to start dating a mundane, and that'll certainly be interesting, but I hope it doesn't last too long. I hope it lasts long enough for it to be genuine and not just Isabel doing what she used to do and like dating people recklessly. I hope that there's actually a bond formed there, and who knows, maybe something will happen, like he'll find out about the shadow world and he'll get killed, and that's another lesson on how mundanes are endangered when they find out about the shadow world, etc, etc. I mean, look at Simon, he was turned into a vampire when he found out, you know, so on and so forth along that kind of line. Or maybe he'll go the opposite way and show them not all mundanes are in danger when they find out about the shadow world. Some of them actually accept it for what it is, and they understand and they don't judge, like Ollie. I don't like Ollie, but you know, like Ollie did. Along that kind of line anyway. And it would be nice to see Isabel get some happiness finally, you know. we've been waiting long enough for it. It would be nice to see her to finally be a bit happier after the Yin Fen, and I'm glad that the Yin Fen was actually referenced in episode 1 because I was worried that it was just going to be like, oh, she's fine now. What Yin Fen addiction? I don't remember. And even if it was just like a small mention saying like, oh, you know, I need chocolate, at least it's something, you know? It's something to reference the fact that she was addicted to Yin Fen, and addiction doesn't just fly away as much as we wish addiction would. It's not something that just disappears at will. It takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of avoiding your cravings and working hard and stuff like that, so I'm really glad that that was referenced as well. I don't know how it's going for Raphael, but he has other things on his mind at the minute, I think, so I think Yin Fen's the last thing on his mind, which is kind of good and bad at the same time considering what he's doing. Isabel is also the new weapons master, which is an interesting concept. I don't know how she goes from scientist to weapons master, but what is it? What was it? She was in season 1 the top pathologist in New York or something like that. I don't know how you go from that to weapons master, but they were different people controlling the show in season 1, and there are a lot of differences between season 1 and season 3 and 2, and I don't mind that much that they're kind of switching it up. And besides, Isabel is very multi-talented, and I do think that she would be capable of being the weapons master as well as a scientist, because why the fuck not? Jace's dreams of killing Clary are also persisting. As a reader of the books, I know why he's having these, but I'm not going to say, obviously. This happens a lot in these episodes. Like, I know what this is because of the books, but I'm not going to say. But I do believe the show's probably going to do it better than the books did anyway, so there's no point bringing it up until I know what way about they're going, because they always improve when Cassandra Clare's trash writing anyway, so it'll be interesting to see where they go with that, because Jace is seeing Sebastian, he's hearing Sebastian in his dreams, he's having dreams that he's killing Clary, and it's making him kind of weary of her, of being around her, and he freaked out last episode when he cut her by accident, that kind of thing. And the same commenter pointed out that there's been a big improvement in Jace. Jace has had a lot of character development, whether you people want to admit it or not. He has had character development. Just because he's the straight white male, as a lot of people say, doesn't mean that he is incapable of actually having genuine development. And he has. At the end of episode 1, he's went from wanting to have sex all the time, from only caring about physical intimacy, to actually just wanting to hold Clary and be with Clary and spend time with Clary, like an actual relationship. And that's the first time he's ever wanted to do that with someone, and that is a big thing. That is a very big step for Jace. That is amazing character development, whether you want to admit it or not. It is. And it shows how this means that he has genuine affection for Clary. He feels something different with her, and he doesn't just want her to be a sex object, he wants her to be more than that. And that is really good. That is a big step for Jace, and I think that is a very big deal, and I'm really glad that the show included that, because for one thing, it gives the people who complain about Jace all the time, it gets them to shut up for a bit, because this is actual genuine character development and they can't complain about that. And it actually it gives more character to Jace, it gives more to Jace than meets the eye. It makes Jace more than just the pretty blonde guy who wants to fuck everyone. He actually does have a heart and a soul, and he actually does care about Clary. He doesn't just want to fuck her like all the other girls that he has been with, which is a very big deal. And it was a very big deal that, like, Clary didn't care that he'd been with Maya in that way, because I was waiting for a whole, you've been with Maya, but there was none of that, thank God. Because the show, it seems like the show doesn't invest its plot lines in petty drama. What an interesting concept, Cassandra Clare. Well, that's it for this week, Shadowhunters, Angels and Downworlders alike. I know this was kind of mixed up between episode 1 and episode 2, but think of it as kind of mishmash of both, because I wanted to get out everything that I missed last week and sort of discuss everything from this week as well. And I can't wait to see more of this season. It is so good so far, and there's only 2 episodes in. I've already penned my favourite episode, which is this one, so I can't wait to see more. I just want all of it, all of it. No, why can't they just release it all, like the whole season, like they do sometimes on Netflix, and just give us all of it instead of giving us this weekly bullshit? Oh. Quick note for next week. I know I just said that I'd be back into the old routine, but this is important, so you can all shut the hell up. Next Wednesday is my sister's 21st birthday, so I don't know if First Thoughts will be out right on the day that the next episode comes out, but I will keep you updated on that on my Twitter, and I will see how things go. I don't know yet. Who knows? Maybe I will. I'm so erratic and unpredictable. Like, I can't even, like, understand what my own schedule is, so who knows? Maybe it will be up, maybe it won't be up, but it will be up next week at some point, just maybe not on the Wednesday of, or the day the episode actually airs. So we'll see. So I'll see you next week, Shadowhunters, Angels and Downwaters like, and remember, we don't need petty drama to create a plot.